It is 5 p.m. on the dot. Me almost a 5 a.m. but I don't know what going. Should we get all? Well, anyway, welcome to the TDP show. It's Amaziyah the Great. Make no mistake, I'm there. It's the 23rd episode. Big respect to all of the fans, them all about.
They say it's a free world, free speech. Fear not. If you've got your story to share, there's a global audience anticipating to hear. Be bold, be truthful, tell them precisely. Join us on youtube.com, Great Amaziyah, for the TDP show. Sundays at 5 p.m. And this is not about just interviewing artists only, but we want to interview everybody. Players of instruments, comedians, poets, actors, actresses, dancers, people with talents who now get fair share. And remember, it's all about honesty, the truth about your opinion. We want the world to know. Amaziyah the Great, tell them precisely.
Yes. Big respect to everybody who there. So with me on the TDP show, yard and abroad, all of the people from Jamaica, the whole Caribbean, America, Canada, United Kingdom. Yes. So we're there with some interesting guests some I want to know about. In studio right now we have Anord Sichinsambwe. We have Umoja. Otherwise, Alwyn. Alwyn, me forget the name then, but not say a word, how you say him way. We have Empress Poetry from outside New York. And later we have Christopher Lee. But first and foremost, we are going to do it in an order where Anord Sichinsambwe will go first with some poetry. Umoja, we have some things to talk about. So you will go second and Empress Poetry will go third. And I think I will close it off with Christopher Lee. Or I don't know if I close it off with Empress Poetry, but I don't know how the vibes go. Anord, which one Anord gone? Me I try bringing Anord and I not see. Me bringing our guests them to the world. Tell them precisely. So welcome Empress Poetry.
Hello.
Blessings and respect. Welcome to the TDP show.
Thanks for having me.
Yes. Umoja. I'm gonna try bring it to stream. Hold on a second. Add to stream. Umoja Wagwan Fireball.
Blessings in the Wagwan.
Blessings and respect. And Anord, that's what Anord. I'm just see how well gonna look like him disappear. Okay, Anord there. So everybody there. Alright, watch Wagwan. We start with some feedback. So who can mute the microphone? Just go and mute the microphone because I hear a feedback and an echoing type of vibe. Umoja, may I say, you see, because you have the light behind you, your image just show very dark. So, I don't know if you can try adjust that. Come on, the people, I'm so going. You get to me and say, Empress Poetry, I'm seeing you very clear. It's only that you're kind of far away from the screen, but I say a word, we still see you. I'm going to start off the interview now with Anord. Anord, you were here already on the TDP show, reciting poetry and the whole 9 yards. You see me? By the way, I think it's best, since me have all on the screen, we just, do the welcome something there, say hello to the fans before we even start off the interviews. But I'm going to start with you. Umoja, since Anord going to start the interview, we wait for the film part last. So Umoja, bless up the fans there.
All right, blessings everyone from Kingston, Jamaica. Just want to share with you that it's my first time on this platform, and I just want to say that the work that it's been doing, or that has been done and still doing by this great extraordinaire, we did some work years ago. And, as a extraordinary poet myself, that is not so much doing poetry right now, but teaching. I just want to say that it's an honor that we're using our craft to bless up people and to help people live, especially what's happening globally with this pandemic. So I'm really happy to be here. Sorry for the lighting. I'm going to see if I can get some better lighting, but I just want to say that I'm so happy to be here today. I had other things to do, but when Extraordinary asked me, I said, listen, anything that is going to help humanity across the globe, especially our Black race, I am in for it. So bless up everybody, and I already believe that everything that will be said and done, people are going to be delivered, people are going to be set free, and people are going to understand who they are and what they're supposed to do this time. Blessings.
Yes, yes, yes. And without further, which part? Empress gone. Oh, Empress are there same way. All right, Empress, just welcome to the show and bless up the people.
Hey everybody, good evening. Thanks for having me. This was unexpected, but I'm glad that we vibed out Friday night, and I believe in divine design, right? So I'm here tonight, feeling the energy, here to add my energy to what's already going on, and bless the mic.
Okay, okay. So I'm jump straight over. Hold on, mute the microphone, please, please, please. Okay. Anord, Wagwan, Mr. African friend of mine, poet / teacher, the whole 9 yards. Wagwan.
Yeah. Why? Greetings, people. It's a extreme honor to be present here at the
Again. Yes,
for
yes.
the second time at the TDPM show with
TDP, not M.
TDP
Tell them
show.
precisely. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
tell them precisely with Amaziyah the Great.
Great indeed.
Yeah, so again, we really appreciate you for having this platform for the creatives, and it's not only creative but businesses. A lot of persons came on and featured their businesses, their events, whatever it is. But it's a great avenue for the poets, great avenue for the entertainers, the singers, the creatives in general. So, I'm here, participating in the show and I will give my few poems, and my interview will be great. Everything go already. So welcome to the viewers, and we are happy that you're here with Amaziyah the Great and us. Thank you.
Yes, yes. Anord, like I said, the main part of this segment, the first half an hour, should be yours. But before we dive into that, I'm gonna throw just an open question, and I need everyone to participate right here as it relates to our youth, even my picnic, especially the son, the boy I'm over this right now. What's your experience in terms of seeing them pulling them socks up and putting themselves together? Because I find my son, no matter how I talk to him, he be wanting to play games on the phone a lot of times. And not just him. I see a lot of our young youth today not so fully focused. Anyone of you want to take on that question and tell me what you think, if you're experiencing the same thing, and what advice would you given to these youth if they should be watching the TDP show right now?
All right. So for somebody who is a counselor that is heavily in youth development, I want to say that what has been happening today globally, like I've been sharing in the schools and different places, and even in the churches, because I'm an ordained minister as well. So what's been happening is our children have been learning from their parents. That is the first area of socialization, not when they're born. So it's from the womb. I've been telling pregnant persons that I tell the fathers, have a conversation with your unborn child. Read poetry, listen to the right music, don't hang around negatives, because that is exactly what's going to happen when I've seen the studies, locally, internationally. The children who love to read, love to play football, stay in the right company, are the parents them fault, especially from them in the womb. Then the next thing is looking at God, the God concept in the churches as an ordained minister. I totally disagree. God is everything that you see and don't see. So it's not that God is going to go there. We pray and we pray and get a car. We pray and get good grades. We fast and we speak in tongues, and our children believe that there's a mentality that you're going to sit down and get things only if you pray. The same Bible talks about praying, faith without work is dead. So I'm looking at that. And for the artists, we have an extreme, a serious responsibility that we need to start writing things that we are living. So I love you poets, because I'm a poet too. But let me tell you something. I tend to sometimes do not come to a lot of poetry festivals, or do not even show up sometime Amaziyah, because some of the persons that sometimes are on the show, I know them differently. And they're saying one thing, but their lifestyles are different. And people are listening. So if we start as adults and parents, start to really practice what we are preaching and teaching, then our youth will be different. I'm not saying, Amaziyah, that you're not doing it, because sometimes you have your child for a little while and the community and the television. So be a parent and practice and live the lifestyle so your children can see.
I am glad you dive in the topic of mentioning the artist. And you know, at one point I can remember, some of we can remember who I watched the show too. There was a particular artist saying that, you know, him do what him do and him say what him say, and it's just only music. And if you allow your child to listen to his music, you feel as a parent. I think of something like that, if I'm quoting correctly. And with that, I think that's kind of that's not even a good response as it relates to the violent songs where you are do as an adult, because on my perspective, me see kids have access to everything and everything that's on social media. Anord, you being a teacher, what are some of the challenges you encounter as it relates to these students? Are they more focused? Because me think they're somewhat distracted. What are your points?
You see, with everywhere you go, you're going to find students who are distracted. But you see, there are several issues in the um, in the in the classroom, and those issues that are present in the classroom, they are those issues that are also evident in the wider society. So you see, when we talk about the students in general, um, we have to take a different approach in molding them. So you see, with the parents, and this is what I think. You see, I believe that a different approach is needed in in the socialization of our children. So, for example, you know, when a child does something bad in his early stages, you get up and you cuss him up and you beat him and you say, boy, you're too wicked, you're bad, and you give him some lick, you cuss him out and you make him feel, you make the child feel unworthy. So this is my approach to the whole issue, is that uh, uh, a different way of dealing with conflicts, of dealing with domestic issues that are existent in their homes. We need to find a different approach. So instead of beating the child, you see, instead of beating the
Okay.
child, instead of cussing out the child, you have a decent talk. You talk and you say, boy, son, daughter, what you did was not correct. It makes a difference when they come into the classrooms. Trust me. You see, the thing is, what I understand with Jamaican culture is that Jamaican culture is a culture that likes to prove. So I'm gonna prove to you, say, if you tell me something bad, if you tell me about my mother, me I go, or you tell me say, boy, me I go prove something better than you. You see, all of these things are as a result of how children were socialized at home. So avoiding conflicts, avoiding unnecessary conflicts, and dealing with conflicts. That's very important. And then everything will fall into place. You see, we have the disrespect of teachers, the disrespect of peers, the disrespect of, and the vulgarity, and the the um the how you want to dress and how you want to talk, whatever it is. But again, it has to do with socialization and what is taught in the if you preach violence to a child as a parent, and the parent see and the child sees you, um you know cuss out to your auntie, you cuss out to your girlfriend or your baby mother, whatever it is my belief that um they will copy the behavior, as our guidance counselor said a while ago, that they will copy the behavior. But again, it is how you teach them to deal with certain things that is very important, and that's what I say.
I,
That's what I say.
I see Empress smiling like she wants to say something on that topic. But before she says anything, I totally agree, as Umoja would say, the parenting have a lot to do with it. Even though sometimes they might listen to them peers and not them parents. But some of these parents, I think, needs to be educated, because most of them, especially in the garrison where I'm from, because we can talk about that when we see every single day. The way communication is important, as you said, Anord, and I think enough of them parents are not talk to them picnic. And I did a short movie some years ago. I posted on my TikTok artist Craig Kirkland page, and it's getting a lot of feedback. And one of the thing is, the young female was telling her mom that the stepfather was being really naughty to her, and she never believed. And I think one of the thing is, some of them parents choose partners over picnic, and I think it push the children aside, and they will want to seek information from other persons who are going to lead them in the wrong direction. Empress Poetry, please elaborate on this topic, please.
All right, so I'm actually just gonna address some of the statements that were made. Like I'm a true believer in God. The things the church is teaching parents about raising kids is just so off base, it's retarded. And I'm gonna go straight to the facts, and that's it. The government is already taking power out of the house, right? So you can't, it's almost to a point now where you can't raise your voice at your kids without the risk of going to prison or facing ACS, which would be Child Protective Services, coming into your home and just breaking it apart, right? Children have no consequences. I grew up in Barbados. Everything I did, there was a consequence. The children today have no consequences. Teachers cannot even really tell kids much of anything called discipline because they have to fear for their job. And these children have learned their power. Every time the system takes power away from the home, they give more power to these children. I was raised in a village. My child, I have one. I have several nieces and nephews. They are all raised in a village. If they need help with homework and math, there's someone to help them with math. If they need homework in culinary arts, there's somebody to take them in the kitchen and do that, right? For a minute, the bridge has been broken where elders used to be able to say something to other people's children, and now they can't. Now, parents are going to actually approach other adults about saying something to their child, which again empowers those children further. So now you have children disrespecting neighbors and elders and whomever and one another, because again, there's no consequence. So the church can rip every page out of the Bible to talk about what it says about raising children. But the truth is, if the church does not get into the community, because the community is not coming to the church is judgmental. If the church does not go into the community and help these parents with their children and then bring their children, as the Bible actually says, bring them in. You don't expect them to walk in. And that's the same thing with the community. If this child is not being raised by a good parent, instead of criticizing the parent, bring that child in. Show that child what a family feels like. Let that child know love exists. Even if it's from a stranger. And I'm going to speak on that too, because you mentioned it about parents choosing partners over their kids, right? It's done every day. It's done every day. And then they don't understand when the child walks out in the street and a stranger picks them up, either to love them the right way or the wrong way. They don't understand what happens. There's a lot of people out here loving these children the wrong way. They are literally sitting behind a screen and luring people's children out of their homes. And their parents are sitting there thinking, oh, they're just playing video games. There's people in those video games talking to your children, and they have more influence in your home than you do. So for me, it's a village thing that needs to happen. The church, the community, the elders, the youth, the peers, we all got to come together and make this happen. Otherwise, them other folks gonna continue to have their foot on our necks and their business in our homes. That's mine.
So right. I see you nodding away, Umoja. I want to hear your perspective on that, especially when she talks about the church.
Oh my God. Oh, Empress, I wish I could see you right now and just hug you up. Because everything that you are saying is so right. I do have some agreement with Anord, but it comes at the factor when, like you said, not every child you can speak to. You're not going to be able to speak to some child soft in a soft tone, and it's going to work all the time. You're going to maybe raise your pitch. You may have to set your face like a flint. You may have to say, little boy, or you might have to little. Not calling them a name to abuse them, but to let them know that you are serious about that. I was in America, and my cousin just literally told his son that, listen, if you do this again, you're not going to like it. And couple minutes, the police was at the door because he called the cops on him. And it's like my cousin could not be a father, and what he was telling him. And then couple months after, my cousin's son was killed. Because the police said to him, he needs to be a boy. And my cousin was saying, no, I don't want him to go to the park. Because going at that park, there's always shooting out. And I remember I went to the funeral and I found the police. And I said, you remember when you came to the house? I went to Jamaica back, but I came back just for the funeral. But I want to say, you gave the power to that little boy over his dad. And I do agree, it takes a village to grow the child. And I love the factors that you came with. Empress, you were saying it. There are parents that will tell you, leave my pitney alone. I know you ain't father. Leave my pitney. And they will go to the schools and they will curse the teachers. And I'm saying, what happens here?
So it's really, really, really serious. Empress, I wish I could hug you for saying that. And the church, I represent the church as well. And I'm telling you, sister, you make me want to shout hallelujah. Because let me tell you something. The church today, instead of running to the church, people are running away from the church because the people do not represent God at all. If you're not tithing, they don't represent you. I was working for a church office, and Amaziyah, Empress, Anord, those of you that are listening and watching, the lady came to the church and the pastor needed to write a recommendation for the son. And the man said, now write it. However, she begged and she pled. And let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I saw the letter that he wrote. 2 lines. I am not exaggerating. I had to write a letter for the young man. And it's like I knew the young man. But I'm saying, how about helping somebody? The Bible talks about calling those things that are not. Why don't you start calling your children doctors and lawyers and stop calling them those great crazy names? See them, come here, my doctor son. Come here, my lawyer daughter. Why you calling them all kind of names, and then when they do wrong, you're sending your son go buy weed and cigarette, and when him start smoke, you beat him. I don't understand. You're sending your daughter, you and your daughter sit on a cuss and a mix up with people and a cuss the people them, and then when the daughter start cuss and go on big, you allow the child to start wear show breasts and bottom and do all kind of things and go out. And when man see them and start take them away, as Empress said, you start saying they are perverted. You're setting out your children. The villagers can't talk to your children anymore. Why? Because you see them when I go send gunman to kill them. Lord, man, listen to Empress. Empress, you turn, listener. You turn it up, Empress.
Hey, watch on, Anord. I don't know Anord gone, but I really wanted him to do a poem as it relates to that. But he had informed me that he did have to leave because he can't do more than half an hour. But honestly speaking, me did just want to dive in on the poetry, but something tell me something to talk about this topic. And believe you me, when Empress attack me get goosebumps. Right now, some of them still dead. And when you attack Umoja, some like the direction which part it go. You get to me and say, so and all time we can come and just perform poems and the whole 9 yards. Sometimes we have a whole of reasoning because that's still art, that's still poetry. And while you're on the topic, Alwyn, you mentioned about kids being led away, and me see abduction cases skyrocketed today. You get to me and say, can you mute the microphone a minute, please? And I wanted to put up a picture, but I could not get it on this platform. Them said me have to have it as a video. But there is a 16-year-old child from my community, Fraser's Content. She have been missing for quite some time now. And you know, there were cases when we hear about the missing cases, them, and when I check it out, them their boyfriend had catch you, them I get bigger, and as I say, breast and body are show and all of that. Them feel like say, you know, but I doubt this is the case though, and I really don't know. But 16-year-old Tatiana Stevenson is missing. She was last seen at home, Lindell Close in Fraser's Content, Spanish Town, St. Catherine, seen wearing a black marina and a black tie. So anybody have no idea or know where this person is, please, because the mother is very, 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 very weak and heartbroken now. So just contact the police, the Spanish Town Police at 876-984-2305. Or any nearest police station or 119. Tatiana Stevenson, slim girl, 16 years of age. And, you know, it's really a sad moment in time. You get what I say? So I just can imagine how a parent would feel right now, not seeing his or her child coming back home to the home. You get what I say? And as you said, Anord, communication is very, very important to the picnic. And I try to communicate with my youth, them I show them, because I make sure to talk every topic where them need to hear. Now, if a sex, me and them I talk about it. If a badness and violence, me and them I talk about it. If I do it, because one of the method that me use in Empress and Umoja, me make sure I put money in my daughter account. More she used to money from now. Me make sure tell her, say, yo, just go pay it. When me there foreign and she run my business and she do all transaction. So me no want a guy feel like say them can just run in and just frighten her with things because I make sure talk to them. So I mean, sometimes you talk and listen, but as a parent, you need to hold. I think Anord is here. Hold on a second before, because he might have to go back real quick. So let me try to bring him back to stream. Anord, welcome back to the TDP show.
Yeah.
I would want you to want to hear other people's opinion, but Anord, I'm gonna go to a break real quick. I want you find one poem where I talk to the youth them. You get what me I say, because you have it already?
Well, go on, take the break. Let me find it.
Yeah, take a quick break and then we'll come back to the to you reciting, and then we can continue with the topic.
Yeah.
She was young, she was beautiful. She left her home that day never knowing that this would be her final goodbye to her friends and her family. She was kidnapped, she was assaulted, and she was disposed of in a matter of days as desperate searches went on with her friends, her family, other women, and the region looking on in hopes that she would be found alive. She was helpless, and against our best efforts, so were we. Now, the gravity of the situation is that her identity depends on which island you've been in over the past months. She is Ashanti Riley. She is Evelyn Sincere. She is Carrie Ann Hunter. She is Kanice Jackson. She is Andrea Barak. She is Stephanie Thomas. And as unsettling as it may seem, every day that list ends with a comma, not a full stop.
Somebody call police!
Yes. So, all right, before you start off your poem, Anord, let me tell you this. Christopher Lee, now say a word, man. We're going to bring you into the conversation because Anord soon exit in the next few minutes. So, just hold on there, Mr. Lee. Uno boy, we are take with the people, picnic. No need to stop. Because woman thing and nothing complicated. You get what I say? Me not have a bag of woman still in a but woman thing not hard. You get what I say? Anord, you can't tell them. Umoja, you can't tell them. Woman thing not complicated, so it's totally wrong for not abduct the woman, them and abuse them because we say no to domestic violence. And this is the show we talk about. We just tell them precisely. You get what I say? Anord, wagwan.
Yeah, so one of the thing too, where the young girls them should know that is that they have to be confident in themselves and in what they present, and in what they choose to accept. So I wrote this poem. It is called "I Think I Am Ugly." Basically, this poem explores the concept of beauty and what is out there, that is seen as accepted beauty. But this poem is an encouragement though to all the girls out there who thinks because them not look certain way, them ugly, and then because they don't look certain way, them their confidence is diminished. No, we don't want that, and we don't want no man come whisper in your ears and tell you anything. You see, so here we go. I think I am ugly. Said the girl with dark skin, glowing, flowing, and making sounds whenever the dirty cream is applied. In truth, you're beautiful, but that cream of the feet, when applied to your face, devalues your dark skin. Your new complexion is now a golden image. Yeah, so this is one of them that I wrote, exploring the concept of beauty. Okay, I'm gonna do another one again. Another one again, just to see it. This one is called Straight Hair. I like my straight hair, said the lady with a wig that covered her natural black hair, a wig defeated by the lies whispered to her from she was conceived. I must have straight hair, covering my identity, giving power to the lies. My African hair is straight too. Though they told you lies, breaking your walls, turning you into a slave. Slavery continues because your wig holds you captive. Yes, blessed love. Amaziyah, take you back.
Yes. Very interesting. All right. I'm gonna just take the time out to read certain comments from the comment section, and then we can continue the show. How much time do you have, Anord? Because remember you tell me say you have to go in a bit.
All right, I can take 10 more minutes.
Okay.
Because
I give you 5 because we have other people. So in 5,
right,
if you want to put, all right, let's say a word. Stacian is saying, Amaziyah, we always say that men are kidnapping kids, but women are doing it too. You get me? Big ups to Stacian, Tashika, Manderville, all the persons who in the chat, Christopher, Ledley, teenagers. Teenage parents are a big part of the problem. And I can say yes to that also because too much young teens. I think Noreen Snyder from outer states was saying she was agreeing with Empress at one point. You get to me and say Michelle Henry saying welcome everyone to the show. Bev Walters is saying hey. Slender Man is saying big up to Anord. So yeah, we have to take the time out for big up who and who the who is on the show as we speak. So big respect to everybody who is here. I would want either Umoja or Empress to debate. Okay, Empress. On the poem that Anord just read, what do you have to say? And then if you have another poem that supports that also, we would like to hear.
Okay, so I love the poem, but for me the poem about the wigs kind of mirrors what society says. Not every woman that wears a wig is wearing a wig because she thinks her hair is ugly. There's alopecia, there's cancer, there's so many other things so we got to be really careful when we choose to assume why a person is wearing a wig, right? Because for me, I put a wig on, I don't wear wigs. I don't wear wigs because when I put a wig on, I see my grandmother, who I look very much like, but I'm not her age. So that shouldn't be the vision that I see, but that's my preference. There's other reasons why other people are wearing wigs. I'm not a wig supporter. I'm not with the creams, but I do have a poem that
Before you say the poem, Empress, I am so happy that you mentioned that because honestly, me personally never did look on it the way there. They be, trying to disguise the alopecia type of vibe and all that. I always say you can't deal with wicked, but you mention, and it might sound a way how I put it across, but now that you mention it, it start think deep of how I really I go try say certain things. So thanks much for that. As you were saying, you have a poem.
Yeah, but I think what society today needs, because there's a lot of hurt going on out here, and I think what we need to do more is to if we want to love on somebody in that way, love on them inwardly, tell them about how beautiful of a spirit they are instead of, oh, your natural hair is more beautiful than your straight hair. I think if we start to minister to people's spirits, then the human side is going to heal. And that's just me, because I don't deal with human beings. I deal with people and the spirit they bring to me. If your spirit comes to me negatively, I distance myself from you. If you come to me with love, peace, and light, it's a party going on, you know? But that's just me. But the piece that I want to support Anord's pieces with is a joint I wrote primarily for myself. One morning I was feeling like super low, and then it turned into an anthem for a whole lot of other people. So it's called Lioness Arise. Your roar has been minimized to a purr. Darkness deafens your light. Your dreams have been stolen by the fears that nurtures your plight. Lioness, arise. Rise like the beautiful sun that greets you in the sky. Let your light shine so bright it burns your enemy's eyes. Show your strength in all that you do. Release the weaknesses of your past. Allow the Creator to use you. Use your jewel filled with wisdom, overflowing knowledge from the crown. Show the world why you should never be held down. You are a lioness. Now rise. Your dreams and purpose deflect the threats of your demise. Traps have been set. There's false premise of promise. Delusions of grandeur all sealed with a Judas kiss. You've been broken, we all have. You've been lied to, so have I. Dwelling deep inside of us is what we need to survive. Dig, discover inner goals. Find what you need in order to free your soul. Let your destiny be your prey. Stalk elevation every day. You've got to fight for the honor of your pride. Stop licking your wounds and allowing yourself to be pushed aside. Your cubs are watching, and so is the rest of your lair. As a natural born leader, you must devour your fears. Don't become endangered in this jungle we call life. You are all queens. Lioness, arise. And that's that piece.
Very, very remarkable.
Thank you.
Umoja, what have to say?
I just want to say that I love the pieces that were said, and there's a lot going on with people individually, and as they write, you know, they write from a place of sometimes what they see, hear, and also what they're experiencing, other people experiencing. Not necessarily sometimes people are writing from a place of experience. So I really like what I used to love. I don't know that well. We haven't been doing that at Edna Manley because of the no meeting in groups and stuff. We would have loved to have a space where we can meet and still do poetry, because what you're doing here, Amaziyah, must big you up for, because, you know, feedbacks are excellent. And Empress said that she was writing from a place of she felt low in spirit. And I just want to say that it's very good that we are doing what we are doing, and as she does that, she actually empowering not only the spirit, the energy of the woman, but the men. There are times that I get up with a low spirit too. There are times when I need to just arise. So people are writing from a space sometimes of what they're experiencing. And also, Anord, I do agree that there are times, depending on where you're writing from, sometimes we are not looking at those factors, you know, and sometimes depending on who we are writing for. Like I told the writers at Edna who are creating for exams and writing pieces for exams, I will remind them that remember that whatever you're doing, remember that you're not doing it for yourself. Somebody's going to be listening, and you want to make sure that whoever is listening is being empowered, because somebody's listening can be the reason for them to be held hostage by themselves or by what you're saying, or be empowered. So I do agree, and I want us to just continue to do what we're doing. And Annoyed, you have a big job, you know, to be a teacher, especially with what's going on. And you seem like a very humble man. You know, I could be wrong. You could be a lion right there looking at me when you're not on camera, but you seem to be one of those, you know, you look like a guidance counselor. I could be wrong, you know, but sometimes we got to get that lion out, Annoyed, because sometimes, as Empress said, some people are going to come with some scorpion spirit. They're going to come with some tiger energy. They're going to come with some Doberman energy and some sheep energy. So you're going to have to be prepared to deal with those energies and those spirits. I'm not saying that you're not dealing with it, but sometimes we're just going to have to do it because here what happened. We can't use one method for everything. So love it, love it. I just want to add quickly, Amaziyah and group, that one of the things that's happening why some people are being kidnapped is not because of their dressing or what they are doing. It's also as a result of family violence. So sometimes when them can't catch the brother or catch the uncle or catch the sister, something that happened years that you would never even know about. There's a generational curse, and they say, okay, me gonna get the auntie daughter, or me gonna get the son brother. And sometimes the kidnapping is not because the man them horny or them want the sexual immorality. Sometimes it's an act of fear to show that, listen to me, or an act of warning. And that's why I keep telling families, the scamming need to stop. The scamming need to stop. But what do we replace? Government. We need to, Amazon, you need to have some government agencies coming onto your show to come and speak and burn a fire upon enough of them. The government agencies, what are you replacing the guns with? What are you replacing the scamming with? Some people still can't get job because of them geographical location. So there's a lot of factors. So poets and writers, teachers, Empress, you have a lot of work. We have a lot of work to do.
I fully agree. I mean, I can speak for actually experience about this.
I never I never realized the microphone was mute, but it's a very important topic Umoja touched on. So we're gonna talk about this some more, but more Anord for finish him one poem and talk some more about himself, because Anord, for those who don't know, he's also you have an African nation.
Yeah,
You
I was there. So I was born in Tanzania,
yes.
East Africa, but I've been living in Jamaica for 15 years. So
Yeah.
I'm actually a Jamaican. So I know
Yes,
everywhere
nothing wrong with that.
in
Nothing wrong with
Jamaica.
that. And but me just like emphasize on the fact that we are still one people. You get what me I say, no
Yeah,
matter which part.
all of us is one. It doesn't matter where in the world you're from. It doesn't matter if you're from the United States, Europe, Asia. But as a people, we are all one people.
Yes, yes. And
That's what God did.
tell us what school you are now teaching, and what's the subject you are teaching. And not only that, before you say your poem or after you say your poem, we would want you to tell us, if persons want to get in touch with Anord, how them can reach your social media handles, the whole 9 yards. So yeah, elaborate on that.
Yeah, and also I'm gonna add, I'm gonna talk about Poetry of Love 2020. Can I talk about 2022? Can I talk about that?
No problem, man. You have the
Oh,
stage.
okay, all right. So, I am Anord Sichinsambwe. I am a teacher of English language and literature. I teach at Anord High School in St. Mary. So right now, I am in the pretty beautiful parish of St. Mary. But I am from well, my family is in St. Elizabeth. So, but because of work, I have to be here in St. Mary. Right. So, if you want to, follow me, you can follow me on Instagram at Sichinsambwe Anord, and Facebook at Anord Sichinsambwe. Mainly on those two platforms. So, for 2022, we'll be having our second staging of poetry, where the show is called Poetry of Love, on Valentine's Day. So it's a concept where, poets gather and we share poems about love. But but my concept is that only about intimate love, but it can be love of your mother, love love of a country, um, love for your favorite thing, whatever the poem is. But the theme that is resonating within the poem should be one that is love of a people as a whole. I don't know what you want to structure, but on Valentine's Day, February 14, 2022, we'll be having our second staging of Poetry of Love. And of course, Amaziyah the Great is already a part of the lineup. Were you in the first edition?
No, I
No,
wasn't.
no, you weren't at the first edition. But the first edition we had Rasa Tiba, wise words. We had persons from Africa, persons from Japan. It was a whole great experience. So we just starting with the promotion. And you know how the promotion goes with me. You know, I like to start early. Amaziyah. And Amaziyah
No problem.
is also a great promoter. So we want persons to come out. We don't know. We haven't decided if it's gonna be virtual or face to face. But I'm praying that we have a face to face live event, because Amazon, a long time we don't really we don't really
Yeah,
got
because we were
yes,
supposed to do language on the move, and you don't know the whole
yeah,
C19 thing rolling, and
yeah,
then everything gets shattered like broken glasses. So
yeah.
I wanted to something there.
We were supposed to with language on the move. 2 weeks COVID struck and we didn't have language on the move. But language on the move is gonna be held when everything is back.
Yes, yes.
Yes, man. So
So real
just
quick, the poem.
yeah. So the poem that I'll be doing is let the guns that talk, the guns that talk. I love this poem. Um, you know, I remember writing this poem about 3 or 4 years ago. 3 years ago, I was preparing to go to Poetry in Motion in Mandeville, and I was invited. And that time I was still in college, and the person who was um, helping with the rehearsals said, "I know you need a poem that is relevant. So think about it." So I went home and I watched the news, and before I went to bed, I, I watched the news. There were a lot of violence and stuff. So I was, and I said, well, I wonder if I can write a poem to inspire the youths to put on their guns. So I wrote the poem that is called the title of the poem is "The Guns That Talk." Let the guns rest. Let the knives sleep. Oh, how I wish the gun could talk. Oh, how I wish they could hear me when I say don't, or when I say please. It is bad to kill. So, guns, please don't kill. Because you cannot understand the pain you cause, the fear you cause, the hole that is created when I hear you kill. Cemeteries are flooded with blood. Cemeteries are tired of being fed. Let the guns rest. Let the knives sleep. I try to forget about you. However, I cannot forget about you. I am sleeping under my bed. I say to you, Mr. Knife. I say to you, Mrs. Machete. I say to you, young gun. I say to you, young knife. Please allow me to have my night rest. Let the guns rest. Let the knives sleep. Blessings. Thank you. I can go. Unmute your mic, Messiah, your mic.
May always, I was just saying, remind us again how they can get direct contact to you. Your social media handles, number, the whole 9 yards. If persons want to participate on your poetry February 14 event, and if they want to reach out to you, how they can get to you, the whole 9 yards. Your mic mute now.
I am on social media. Amaziyah. I am on social media. And at Anord Sichinsambwe on Facebook, Sichinsambwe on Anord on Instagram. You can also call me at 876 317-3676. We want sponsors for the next event, you know, because it's a lot of things that have to be taken care of, and we, you know, we want our creatives to be compensated. But we can't compensate them, Amaziyah. But we need sponsors, and we need persons to help with the promotions. But it's a concept. It was held last year virtually, so it's gonna be held. So you can call me at 317-3676, and I'm on Facebook. You can send me a message on Instagram or Twitter, and I'm going to respond. Yes, thank you.
One more thing before you go, Anord. Just one quick message to the youth, them, and then you can just exit, please.
Yeah. So the word is love. You see, love yourself. It's once you love yourself, everything around you will won't be a distraction. So have that love within you. Love yourself, and then the love that you have for yourself, the love that you have for God. Let me go again. Love God, and then the love that you have for God will be reflected onto the others that you have around you. And then you love yourself. You think of yourself think of yourself positively. You see, when you think of yourself positively, then everything you do will become positive. That's what I have to say. Yes.
Yes. Anord Sichinsambwe, pleasure having you here. Big respect, and continue go and do your great works. Any of you guys over there have anything to say to Sichinsambwe before he left?
I like that last piece. That last piece was tough. And I have to agree with Umoja that I know your job is hard. So keep shining that positive light into our youth, because that's what they need. They just need somebody pouring that into them. And once we fill them up, then it'll spread, you know?
Excellent. I love that. I love that, Empress. And just as I heard you with that last piece, you know, I have a poem that says I'm man, and it speaks to stuff like those, that we think that because we're a man, we are so powerful, and we use our power sometimes to abuse. And sometimes because of the understanding of the lack thereof of understanding what power is, because the community dons, the MPs, the prime ministers, secretaries, they try to tend to teach power in way. I really hope that some people from JLP and PMP listening to me right now, they use their power to really abuse. So I know what's happening in where you are, where you are again, St. Mary, and you're from St. Elizabeth. I'm so happy that the Isla is where he is teaching, Empress, because a lot of focus sometimes is in Kingston, you know, and then sometimes the parishes or the other parishes are not so much involved, because people might think that if you want to excel, you must have come to Kingston. But really and truly, there are a lot of people who want from Kingston who really want to come to St. Mary, because we need some peace, right? So do what you're doing there, and it's going to illuminate, and it's going to affect change, and it's going to impact Kingston. Big up yourself, sir. Big up yourself, Mr. Anord.
Anord, me also walk good a while ago. Blessings and respect. Take care of yourself, all right?
All right. Yes, sir. Blessings. And thank you to the guests for having me. Well, see you and the guests. It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, so that was Anord Sichinsambwe from Africa over there, so Africa big minute. When say Ghana? Yeah, one other place there. Big respect, Anord. He's a friend of mine. We met in St. Elizabeth. In Koshi introduced me to him at a poetry event, and from then we still keep the communication still going. You get to me, I say Antonio Valiers in the comment section. Rudy Perry is also there. Alfonso is there. Bev Walters is there. A lot more persons is there, and we are happy. Coach Verona is also here, live from New York. Blessings and respect. Thanks for joining in. Noreen Snyder is here also, from over there in the States. Big respect to all of the people in the Caribbean, Africa, Canada, United States, as I said before. Earlier you touched a topic about you would want some government body people to be on these platforms. We have never had none of the government them official here, but as you mentioned it would be quite interesting. So as the show grow more, you never know. You get to me and say, I'm gonna make it my point of duty, say any day I get one of them, I'm gonna make sure say it up on the platform. But before I jump back to where you did, I go say there was something Empress wanted to say as you raised the topic. Empress, I don't know if you remember what you were about to say when Umoja was saying something about the politicians on this platform. So if you remember clearly, you can just elaborate for us. And we love the show, Wagwan. We don't say, usually we just I deal with a bag of poems. A matter of fact, Christopher Lee, when you're ready, you can join in. But Empress, continue, please.
It was actually the topic about the kids being lured away from home, right? So it's such a layered issue that's going on because, like I mentioned before, the people that you're sitting and you're watching your child play this video game, and you hear your children talking to other people in the background on their headphones, right? There are other people outside of their peers talking to your children at those times as well. There are other people that are making plans with your children, how you can escape, how they can escape from you. I had an experience during COVID last year, 2020. I had a friend of mine called me because he had found like the weirdest messages on his 14-year-old daughter's social media. Right. During COVID, there was a collection of people behind the screens telling children that the reason their parents cannot understand when they communicate with them is because the parents and the rest of us are humanoids. The children and the people behind the screen are Lyrans, right? Now, if you do your research, these terms come from, it was a movie, goes back, I believe, to the 70s called The Cat People, where the felines used to go bring other felines into the fold for that one male cat. It's the same scheme. Young girls alluring other young girls to come to whatever trap house or whatever it is that's happened, wherever he's located. And it turns out that there's more than one male involved, but there's one male that I guess is like the top of this scheme, right? So these girls are packing away, and here in America, they're packing away their birth certificates, their social security numbers. They're giving these people to prove that they trust. They're giving these people their passwords to their social media. They're required to give them their PIN numbers to their bank accounts and their cash apps and anything that you think you're giving your child money to keep her floating. And there's a criminal out here that's actually taking your love and flipping it into something crazy. So we followed these messages. We got some people in the community involved, and NYPD took care of, well, turns out this ring wasn't just in New York, it was in Georgia. It was going on all across the country. We were able to rescue her then. A couple of months ago, my girl ran away from home, spent 2 days away. Her father had just put money on her card. He's tracking the money. The money is disappearing. When she got down to zero, she comes back home. She left his house, one person. She came back home, a totally different person. Wow. And because of the fact that he has no power in his household, because the state is involved. The reason he's a single parent of a child is because her mother was abusive and the state took her rights from her. So he steps in instead of allowing her to go to foster care. He steps in, and because of what she did, the government is involved. So if he slaps her for having everybody worried for 2 days, and she tells her caseworker, then he gets a case. If he raises his voice and the neighbor hears him raising his voice and calls the cops, then he catches a case. And all he's trying to do is save his daughter. That's all he's trying to do is save his daughter. A lot of these parents aren't watching even close enough because the games and the social media is what's keeping their children from bothering them. When they come home, if you came home from work after a 12-hour shift and your child said something to you like, Dad, you know what? The only reason that you and I don't get along is because you're a humanoid and I'm a Lyran. What are you most likely to tell that child? Go sit somewhere in the corner and read a book, right? But if somebody else is actually factually proven by your actions that what they're saying is right, you don't even have the energy or the time to hear the nonsense that, as you call it, coming out of your child's mouth. We're not saying you're a bad parent. That's just life. That's why I believe in the village system, because when my nieces and nephews say something crazy to their parents that they don't catch, and I catch it, I deal with the parent. You might have missed that. So you want to go talk to that kid, see what they mean by that. When I get my auntie niece or auntie nephew time, then I want to know what they mean by that. I believe in the village, but as parents, we got to believe in the village too. You can't tell me you want me to be your child's aunt when they need sneakers and whatever else. But when it comes time for me to snatch that little up by the ear, I can't do it. We can't be that. We can't. That's not how it's gonna work. Kids are quick to tell you, you're not my mommy, you're not my daddy. It's not because they feel that way. It's because they heard you say that. They heard you say, Auntie so-and-so can't say what, because I'm your mother, not them. We got to stop that. If you want me to watch your child in the street, you have to teach your child it's a mutual respect. It's a mutual respect. And we don't teach respect anymore. So that's my take.
I see Christopher Lee is in the house. Before you comment on that, Umoja, Coach Verona is saying there needs to be a divine intervention, mental health issue, and theirs, but I will see we are still far away off. How would we deal with this as a people? And you know what? Before you talk, Umoja, let me first, because I see Christopher Lee been here for the longest while. He is an artist inside the States also. He's in Florida, I think. Let me add him to stream. Okay. So welcome to the TDP show, Christopher Lee. Wagwan, blessings and respect. Here we have Empress Poetry, Umoja, and myself. Welcome to the TDP show. Before you say another
I feel away. May I come amongst Empress, Umoja, Amaziyah. Everybody sound like African. Where this Christopher Yaga, man? Them European name.
Just say a word, man. As Empress said earlier, we need to just focus, but let's connect spiritually. And forget some of the name settings. Yeah, make just correspond with the spiritual vibration.
Well connected, man. Believe me, I'm well connected. I love where I go on.
Yes, but before you say another word, Umoja, how we deal with this as a people? What would be your advice be? But think about it. I'm gonna go to another break real quick, and then we back on the TDP show. Tell them precisely. It's Amaziyah the Great, and we are here with 3 amazing guests. Hold on for a quick break.
They say it's a free world, free speech. Fear not. If you've got your story to share, there's a global audience anticipating to hear. Be bold, be truthful. Tell them precisely. Join us on youtube.com, Great Amaziyah, for the TDP show. Sundays at 5 p.m. And this is not about just interviewing artists only, but we want to interview everybody. Players of instruments, comedians, poets, actors, actresses, dancers, people with talents who now get fair share. And remember, it's all about honesty, the truth about your opinion. We want the world to know. Amaziyah the Great, tell them precisely.
Yeah, welcome back again to the TDP show. It's Amaziyah the Great. I'm here with Christopher Lee, Empress Poetry, and Umoja. Umoja, how do you think we move forward as a people? What advice would you give to not just our youth, but parents, kids, everyone? How would we, apply the measures how to make it better? We've seen the government not doing too much for us as a people. So what would you advise us to do for ourselves, for the people?
Welcome, Christopher Lee. You can always have your name changed, sir. Just actually look at an African book with names and match your spirit, your energy, and I'm sure that you'll get an African name. It's easy. Have an elder change your name. All right. I just want to say though, Empress made some very good woman. I love you so much. She made she said some stuff that really resonated, and she was also giving possible solutions. I don't know if persons were taking notes. One of the things she said, which is so very relevant, and it's happening globally and internationally. So it's okay for me to send it's okay to send your child to me for lunch money and a sneaker. But when I'm supposed to correct them when they're wrong, based on how you parent them, you're going to tell them you're not my kid. So one of the first things we're going to be looking at is asking for help when you realize that you're out of ideas. Stop acting like you know it. Stop acting like the strategies. Empress again said it. The things that our foreparents did back in the days, not working today. How we used to go to church and the child sit and just be quiet, it's not working today. They are different human beings because, believe it or not, what our children are exposed to. I never had a cell phone when I went to St. Andrew Technical in 1994 to 1998. Christopher, I had a home phone. Empress, Amaziyah, people watching, anybody that wanted to get me had to wait until I get home. Now, are we knowing what our children are watching? No. How about the man has another phone? If the man have another phone or the woman have another phone with our man or our husband, the child can have another phone too that you don't know about. Because Empress is saying that these are some people that are playing the games. And Empress, I used to think about it. I'm like, why is it that my nephew and niece so hooked on these games? And then I would like hear that my cousin all the way from America hear his voice. I hear something. Oh, they're playing the same game. So anybody can play the game and tell your child something, and you think that is your child playing the game with your cousin when it's another man or a woman. And yes, the women are working with the men. So one of the things, first step, ask for help. You do not have all the answers. When you realize that you're in need, my people, ask for help. Find somebody that you trust. Ask for help. Ask for help. The second thing that we have to do, stop trusting the wrong people. Empress talked about teaching respect. Many of the persons who are teaching respect don't even have respect for self. So you have to find somebody that is mirroring the positive behavior that is expected to have. And then you find that person. Stop trusting a pastor that is cheating on his wife. Stop trusting a counselor that you're confiding in Amaziyah and everything you chat to them about, the neighbor here, the church here, the school here, and then a God tell them, and a prophecy them get. But all of a sudden, you start to a counselor about you're having a bleeding problem, and all of a sudden, you see a lady come give you a pad. God never tell us you're having a bleeding problem. You talked about it at the prayer altar. You talk about it to the counselor. Stop trusting the wrong people. And the third and final thing that I'm going to say to Jamaica especially, get out of this mentality that God will help me. God help those who help themselves. You're praying about a situation. Stop praying, my friends, and get up off of your butts and seek help. You know you're pitting them in a problem. You know you need help. Ask for help. Amaziyah, there's nothing more than that, because the first step is to get up and understand that, listen, I have a problem. We have persons, Empress and Christopher, that are lying to themselves that they are okay, that them children okay. No man, they're just going over a phase. And the phase of taking man early is because you they take man early. Them living what they are seeing, and then them listen to Empress, and because Empress me already know say you know ramp with Pitney. You know ramp with niece, you know ramp with nephew. Me say you're strong till you're not even need a man to be strong for you. You're strong all by yourself. And we need some strong Empress, some strong mother, some strong women like Empress. If the man gone, you're gonna do what the man that do. You're not gonna try to take man every minute, and that is it. Some of these women, they have too much stepfather for the pitney them, so the pitney them confused. You understand? So they don't know which male figure. So ask for help. Stop trusting the wrong person and get up off your butt, man, and do something and get something.
True. So right. We're gonna talk with Empress a bit, but before we go to Empress, Christopher Lee, you are here. All right. Before we make a talk some more about yourself, we came into contact today. Nico Fire is a close friend of mine. And my sister make me know him. Quality, big up yourself. And you know, I've always seen this man as a person who I respect immensely. And I see him as a youth where I class him as a legendary person, because even though a dancehall music him play, but he's also a people's person. He's also a person who look out for others. He's also a person who push people's content. You get what I'm saying? And you know, he helped my sister just to see him. He told me about he posted a video for you and it go viral. We're going to talk about that soon. But it's a pleasure for you to accept the invitation and was, you know, ready. And that's what, you know, make an artist ready. You know, being able to want to take on the task no matter how the notice was short. And when you called me like less than 2 minutes after he and I had that conversation, I was like, whoa, this youth is on point. And yeah, as you mentioned, you was just in the studio and then you reached out to me. I must say kudos and maximum respect. Salute to you, sir. Tell us.
Right as me exit the studio, man. Right as me exit, man, and him call me. Right away.
So before you continue with another poem, Empress, I'm gonna allow Christopher Lee to say who is he really, and you know, make the world know more about who is Christopher Lee, and then we'll go on to you, Empress, with another poetry, and then Umoja take it away from this. So Christopher Lee.
Yeah, man. Blessed love, man. Christopher Lee, you know, Florida base, Orlando to be exact. Reggae dancehall artist from Kingston, Jamaica. Yeah, you know, keep it positive as much as possible. Cause when people hear dancehall, them think, you know, it's only derogatory thing come out of dancehall. But you don't know. We try our best to keep it on the straight and narrow as possible. You know, we have song where, you know, cause when you go up on the stage, you have to relate to different kind of people. So we keep it that way there, you know. But you know, reggae dancehall music, you know the thing for some time now, long we travel, we go all about over the world. Music make we there. So you don't know it. We advance, you know, and we are do the thing for a while now. So, you know, that's it.
Christopher,
basic.
you mentioned you've been doing this for a while. Are there any, you know, how many years I should ask, and are there any professional recordings out on the digital download platforms?
All right, we're glad you touched that. It's long before digital, man, even vinyl. Because me have a nice amount of age under my belt, you know. Me have 48 years, you know me there about a long time. You see it. And you see it, we voice for some of the prominent producers them in Jamaica, the big names them. You know, some you might hear, some you might never hear yet. Collaboration with some at the top singer them, the top artists them, you know. So it's just that we never get the big break because a whole heap of other things. We know the music set, it have a whole heap of politics in it. But if you say Christopher Lee, it have got click to a whole heap of them, you know. We've been around, man. Whole heap of
Yeah,
work.
because
Even
the name never sounds strange to me, but the face is really strange. And I am glad you are on this platform to make people know what go on. You get to me and say, and when I was not hesitant at no point, because when Nico, as a matter of fact, I reached out to Nico Fire for him to be on this show today, and he said he had other arrangements, so he recommend you same time instantly, and we're happy to see you there. So some of the songs that were recorded, like what people can gravitate to know. Can you make mentions of few and some of the collaborations that you have done so far?
the name Chris Inti, that must ring a bell. Him live in the States, too, but him is signed
Yes,
to
yes.
Kings of Kings record. I have song with Luke D. I have song with Chuck Turner. I have song right now. Seeing come I work with a label called GC Production. It's out of Florida, but him work with the big names them same way. You understand me? I say? So we work with Chuck Turner, Joy White. Joy White is a legendary singer too from Jamaica, from back in Alton Ellis them days. She live in Germany. So we are putting some more heap of work. And even now, people are going to see the face because back in the days, I just record vinyl and it sell. Wanna sell, no sell. But now with the platform we have now, even though I'm not too savvy with the networking, I just learn the thing now. The Facebook and because I saw the song even go viral. I saw Nico get the song. You understand? Because my song will go viral.
Can you please? I wouldn't mind you doing a little performance of that song.
No,
man.
Tell us who be an artist if I can't do that, man.
All right, and tell me which part we can go find it, because I really want to go watch it to myself. Because I know I don't see it yet, because work settings more while and everything we see what go on social media. But please run it.
Basically, the one that will go viral, everything what we are talking about right now, everything. Seeing. So I say, well, if a girl not like my pitney, she have to move and go along. You want me have to take Crystal and Chrisan. Me know what heap of women not go like this. I want to open your ears and listen to me song. Sing something, some boy do that sick me. But me not put no girl over me pitney. A girl coulda had, she can't trick me. But me say, nah put no girl over me pitney. So all real fathers, if you know with me sing, nah put no girl over me pitney. Hey girl, go with your jacket that no fit me. Me say me nah put no girl over me pitney. This dedicate to all original fathers out there. Show love to your kids them and tell them you care. Me and cross me out and pa me Bible me swear. Me's a boy we call me daughter them here. Hey, enough time me friend them ask me how me do it. How young war a fight and me still out the street. Always a hunt food for me kids them eat. So no girl can call me deadbeat. When me say something, some girl do that sick. I eat that bro.
Yes. Hold on, Mr. Lee. Hold on, first and foremost, I want to hear from a woman's perspective. And you don't know the queen is here. So let me hear what she has to say.
So dancehall is like a love of mine. So I was glad that the camera was on you and not on me, because the lyrics and my movements didn't clash, they didn't mix. I love your song. I have to tell you, I need to please put the link somewhere so I can listen to it.
Yeah, man, I make you get the full.
Yeah, that was a lot of food for thought.
I actually recorded it this morning. Yeah, man, I recorded the song this morning, man.
Umoja.
Listen, man. Brother. You actually sound like in your 20s same way. You're 80, you're still at 18. I'm sure you're having. You better.
No, I interrupt you. But you say, when you go start 94, them time I'm done run through high school, long time, brother.
All right. And you still sound like you still have that sound there. Love the song. As Empress says, boy, Empress in my head. I could use that song to teach a class. I could use a song to do a parenting workshop. I could use a song to look at the system and what causing. Listen to me. Love the song. Please, I want to say it right now. Empress and Christopher Lee, make sure that you give me your WhatsApp number, because Amaziyah don't even know what him do for me this evening.
Just you can't get my number from Amaziyah, man.
No, man,
Yes,
you gotta say it over the phone, man. You gotta say it over this, man.
All right, bro.
All
Yeah,
right.
man.
I got
The number, please. Go again, Empress. Me never hear that.
I said I got stalkers in New York. I'll give you my number on the back channel.
No problem. All right. Watch what going on now. Watch what going on now. You see, as I mentioned, now put the woman over your picnic.
Yeah.
There is a short movie I did, and it's about a brother where can't find simple Easter bun. The show name Easter bun. I want to go check it out. It's on YouTube. Easter bun. I go play the preview. But it's a virgin we can't find a simple Easter bun for him picking them. But at the end of the day, and him can't find it for give mother either. But at the end of the day, him find it for go give a girl, which the girl end up again next month some other bun there.
Yeah, man. Beer bun him again.
So, yes. So at the end of the day, it a show it's really displaying how some man go. You can't have your mother and she want sort out medical issues. You can't have your father and him want something to deal with, and at the end of the day, you tell him say you don't have it, but you take everything and you go give girl, and a girl not even a pre, a girl not even go there for you. You get to me and say. So at the end of the day, when you check out the trailer, I say we can't find it because it's a very important topic that you dabbled in. Let me say I find it. Easter bun. Yeah, man, I want to go check it out.
Yes, sir.
Jaybet, seriously, daddy?
How that come in, my lord?
You have to go find somebody to look after your picnic them.
I need a favor.
More the money you owe me.
Right now, you're saying you go down there, Lego, and the girl does that like a piece of puppet already.
Normally, I don't see them thing out, man. How I go on?
I let you nobody, I not take no check.
We are going good still, but I only one lucky thing I see we go on. Pop in my car, this is
Okay, my pussy never tell.
Zarman. Who?
Zarman.
All type of mix up them come with that one, mash up a relationship.
So you see what I tell me about?
You see, whenever this man come look for you and it reach down to the bedroom part, you better wear protection.
Ever since Miss Keisha jumping in your life, a bag of things, she good enough, so
Keisha love me. None of them can tell me nothing.
better girl where you run back and you give your money.
You know, me just get the money from the dummy.
What kind of business you say you're going?
You know, say some Easter bun.
I mean, I just say you're going out the bun thing, my lad.
I don't want Keisha to marry another.
Love an edge, man.
Yes. That's Easter bun. Someone's gonna go check it out. Hold on. Before you even comment, more here, Empress. You know, we think about the man them where, you know, I spend time, I give the woman everything and then I spend attention with the picture them now, the mothers. What do you think?
So, I am a survivor of domestic violence, right? And that's what my husband did. My husband would leave and go take care of other women, and I was the one that was expected to take care of the wifely duties. I don't know what other duties they were doing because they were doing a lot. They were getting his paycheck and part of mine, right? And I had to make the decision the day that he hit me with my kid in my hand. I realized at that moment, a lot of women tend to stick up and deal with a lot of stuff for the sake of the kids. And that's what they tell themselves and other people. But when you're holding a child in your hand and that man hits you, you kind of got to realize he doesn't care about you or the child at that moment. And that was my awakening moment in my situation. A man that will not take care of his child will not take care of anybody, including himself. That child is from his loins. That is the one thing that he can walk the face of the earth and say is his. My daughter's father, my daughter is 25. My daughter looks like her dad to me, but then to other people, she's so, and a lot, like a lot of times growing up, and this is it's so layered when it comes to this topic, because growing up, when she was, well, as we were growing up, I like to say, I would look at her and cringe because I would see him. But at that moment, I would know that regardless of what I was seeing, that's who God gifted to me. Regardless of who else dropped the ball, who chose not to be a part of it, it is my duty to raise this kid. And today she's 25. She's an intelligence officer in the military. And this man, who does not know after the second week of her existence on this earth what else she ate for the rest of those years, is bragging about her more than me, right? So sometimes you just gotta, if he's not gonna take care of the kid, he's not gonna take care of the kid. You cannot force them. And we just gotta learn to accept that it's a wickedness within that individual that can look at their own seed and not care about what they're eating, how they're sleeping, if they're actually being taken care of, who's around them. It takes a wicked spirit to not give an ounce of care when it comes to their own child. So for me, I say, don't pull out your hair, don't lose weight, and don't run to the other arm, to the arms of another person. That's a trauma. And that's something, especially for women, we tend not to deal with trauma very well, right? We think that there's this old time saying, my grandmother never said it to me, but there's this old time saying that I've heard other people say their grandmothers said, the best way to get over somebody is to get under another. That's a lie. That's you're bringing another person into your child's life, and they're already going through all this confusion about the one that created them that isn't there. And then this person most times end up being temporary. So like Mo just said, then it's like a roller coaster of different men, different spirits, different energies that you're bringing into your child's life. And then you don't understand why that child's behavior is so confusing. Energy is real. And we got to start paying attention to that. Our ancestors believed in energy. So I don't know. That's me though. But my child is 25. I tell people all the time, I did my job. I raised my nieces and nephews. I do my part. Because again, I mean, in my village and with my kids, I call them my kids too, they understand that when auntie's talking to them, auntie's not coming from a place of hate or, well, I know better than you. I let these children teach me. It's the way that we learn what they're going through. The way that we learn what they're doing and what's going on in their world is by letting them teach us. We can't come in and tell them, oh, I know what you're doing. We didn't have the internet growing up. Like Umoja said, we had to wait until we got home to make those phone calls. Your child could be detoured from coming straight home by one phone call.
True.
So we just gotta, a lot of people say, oh, those were the olden days. Nah, man, pick the experience, pick the good things. It's like going to the market, right? You go to the market, you want to pick the best mangoes. That's what you want to pay for. You're going to go in there, you're going to find some with spots. You can tell that some was dropped on the floor because of the bumps. And you can tell, pick from your past, pick from your experience the best fruit. That's the best advice I can give to anybody, including myself. We've all gone through some stuff. We can't sit in the stuff that we've gone through. We're not growing from that, and our kids are watching us sit in it, and they're looking at us. And they're thinking, well, if you're not going to get up out of that mess, then how are you going to help me get up out of any mess that I'm in? It's by example. With relationships, I went through a lot of crap in relationships. What I learned from the crap in the relationships is that I had to set the example. If I show you how to love me by the way I love myself, then any mistake you make is because you did not pay attention in class, and I got to fail you. And that's it.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, can you hear me? Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, this lady here on my screen is Empress Poetry. She's a mother, she's a motivational speaker, she's an author, and she's also activist and a poet. Born in Barbados, grew up in New York, and you don't know, she has been doing very great works ever since, and I was elated to have her on this show here on the TDP show as she, unfold powerful information towards the global audience we have here. Empress Poetry, I must say, it's really amazing having you here. As Umoja said, he instantaneously after your speech he fell in love with you. I too love it. You gave me goose pimples also, so I don't know, look like me and him have you see me a challenge type of vibe still. But anyway, I'm glad to say you there.
Three-way, brother. Triangle.
Oh
Yeah,
my
man.
days! but anyway, what me I say now, we are happy to have you here as you by the way, if you're saying anything, I mute your microphone because when me I talk to you it's like me I hear me I echo. So it's muted for a minute. I soon unmute it. I want to know as it relates to books. Tell us the books that you have. I can see some of them in your bio, but I need you to tell us more about where we can get your book, where they are available, and if persons want to get to you. But before you do all of that, I definitely would want to hear another piece of poem. If any other guys with me right now, as it relates to you doing another poem, let me know because me don't want to be the greedy one. So
No,
let me put them on screen because I want to see everybody. Now wait, I want to see everybody, because I want to know what I'm saying. Who say Empress should go again with more poems? Let me know. Okay, well, and the whole trio we are saying Empress. So do the poem and tell us the books them that what is out and how can we get them.
Okay, so all right, let me address a couple of things. Christopher, you first. Your name, right? So my mom named me Carolyn, and my dad named me another name that starts with J that I never use. So I go by the title CJ for my friends and my social media. But when I met poetry and I fell in love with poetry, and I learned who lived inside of Carolyn, I had to figure out. So Umoja said you get an elder you choose a name, you get an elder to baptize your name, right? To christen your name. And I went to the dictionary, that was my elder, and I looked for the definition of the word empress, which was a woman who rules in her own right. And then I looked up poetry and it says, formulates a concentrated imaginative awareness of experience in language. So I am a woman who rules in her own right, who formulates a concentrated, imaginative awareness of experience and language. I'm Empress Poetry. See, so pick a name. And the stage, so I went to, and you threw out some names, right? So the people that christened my name were people like Rasa Tiba and Rasa Sergeant Fu. Those were people that after I stepped on stage the first time because before that, they were totally screwing up my name. My name is Carolyn, they were calling me Caroline. Because nobody ever gets a white name on a black girl is never said the right way, right? So once I came as Empress though, and I wrote it on the open mic list that night, I haven't been called that anything other than that since. Now and then, Rasa Sajay Fu, because he's family, he'll call me Caroline when he's like really passionate about what he's saying. But outside of that, the audience accepted Empress Poetry, and I live it. I think that's the best part is when you get to know who you are and you live who you are. Can't nobody tell you who you are after that, right? So that's the thing about the name. All right. So we were talking a lot about community and stuff. I'll talk about the books in a minute. I want to do this one poem that kind of ties into what we were saying earlier about what would make it better for us as a people and us as this is human beings. I was asked to do this piece for a community walk. There's a lot of gun violence going on in New York City. Well, in America, but I'm in New York, right? And like last week, we had 3 16-year-olds. The last 5 school days, we had 3 16-year-olds that were actually died by gunfire, and a 16-year-old girl on Friday. She's now still in critical from a gunshot to the face. 16-year-old girl. I don't know what would warrant that, but it's a lot of violence going on. Domestic violence, the kids, everybody's angry, and there's a lot. And everyone is collecting money to solve this problem, right? But nobody's actually coming up with real solutions as to, now we got the money. The fight is, well, who's going to get more money? Who's going to get this? Oh, that person got more money than me. So the job still's not getting done because we're still fighting amongst ourselves. So I wrote this piece called Join Hands With Me, because I'm just one person, but perhaps if you hear what I have to say, you'll join hands with me. That's the purpose of this poem. Join hands with me. Let's walk these streets together as a testimony that love conquers hate, understanding resolves debate, and respect requires its return. Let's put our words into action, call for justice and peace, work alongside the police and find ways to help protect each other, demonstrate what it means to love ourselves as we do our brothers, and create real community. Come, join hands with me. Let's walk these streets together so we can discover resolution and activate a plan. Unpack old beliefs so in unity we can stand, reform the conversation. See, I'm no mathematician, but I did the calculations, and by my evaluation, division plus subtraction multiplied by poverty does not result in equality. So there is need for correction that leads to equity. Feel me? Come on, join hands with me. Let's walk these streets together looking for proof that our youth are not lost. Identify what's missing, then replace it at all costs, like the mom and pop shops that were proof of generational wealth, and the youth empowerment programs that strengthen their mental health, educational and vocational programs that actually put them on their path, support teachers and parents. Stop doing this political dance. Let's give them a chance to grow. Come on, let's go. Join hands with me. Let's walk these streets together and discover what connects you to me. Find foods, tell spiritual and cultural stories that show our similarities. Let's also discuss the differences and dispel the myths. Let's learn from each other in order to know who we are dealing with. Let's start there so we can understand we shouldn't have to fear each other. You don't have to look like me to be my brother, my neighbor, or my friend. Let's bring all this madness to an end. Change the gun laws. It's not that hard to comprehend. If we starve the beast, it dies. Let's go. Join hands with me. Let's walk these streets together as a pledge to our Creator, or families and those families that cry, or friends and neighbors. Let's vow to one another. These bad habits will no longer be harbored. End the violence, end DV, end child abuse, end police brutality, end sex trafficking and those behind the drive, end classism, racism, and erase red lines, end discrimination, end homelessness, and hunger and fear, fix the mental health crisis, end hate, end hate, end hate. This does not have to be our fate. Let's love, let's help, let's not judge, let's not assume, let's correct, let's unite, let's admit. It's the only way we can end this fight, so join hands with me. Let's walk these streets together in the spirit of unity and tell everyone we are here. And that's that piece.
Mama Anu.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
I have some pieces. And may I tell us right now what you have a while ago? You have some nice pieces, but you said this one will just do. Love it.
Thank you.
Before Umoja, me know you want to say something, but I go wait first. Christopher Lee.
Yes, I.
Elaborate.
No, upon Empress just say, you say it all, bro. You say it all.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to tell you. First thing, I'm tell you, Empress, when I just listen a while ago, I done build 2 new lyrics out of your song already, out of your poem already.
I
done thief 2 rhyming word already. Done thief 2 rhyming word and build, but a real thing, man, solid. Because them thing that I preach to, you know. We have them kind of song there. You understand me? I say that's why that's one of the reasons why probably we not really boss and they think our business full of politics and them thing that we preach. So we'll find a new way. We'll find a new way. When you say right now, shoot to farmer, them thing violence and them thing. I not really endorse them things that I'm a song. I'm not soft, you know, don't get it wrong, you know. But we don't want nobody to live that, so we don't sing that, Bridget. You know, I love what you do, man. And I tell you, we're going to support the thing. We're going to link up on my boy to the book them, because some stay, you know. I jump on Amazon right away and grab for you all your things, them, man, right away.
But don't go on Amazon because they robbed me, so, they robbed.
Where can we get your books? Just which part of the book then?
Right? So I self-published because my first experience in publishing, the publishers took all my money and the story.
All right.
So I learned.
All that for a minute, Empress, because that's more information we are gonna need. But before we dive on to the information part, Umoja, may I wait for you to elaborate on what Princess just said.
Your mic.
Can't hear you.
Mute.
Your mic mute, bro. Nah, yeah. Nah.
Still can't hear you.
Still can't hear you. Well, here everybody.
I'm going to break real quick. While them start out that, let me just run for a break real quick, and then we'll get back. I hope him try to start it out within the time.
I can't live without a woman. Tell me, can you? I would never hurt a woman. All who believe in prayer, we all need to pray. Can't believe what is happening. These must be the last days. Times are getting scary. The devil's in a rage. Women and children are a target now. We need to see a change. We're losing too many women. Stop the violence against women. We need to love our women and take care of the women. Stop abusing the women. We're losing too many women, yeah. Stop the violence against women. We need to love our women, take care of the women, stop abusing the women. Young girls beware, there are predators out there, don't trust people. They act as if they care. They are wolves in sheep clothing, they are evil. So don't just stop on any taxi, and don't just stop on any bus. Don't just trust loose faces, no. Suss them out first. Don't make night get you too far from home. Don't get your loved ones nervous. Just think before you act now, pity. Time is so evil. Now to my big woman friend them, Stop steer with the madman them. If every day my beat you and I'll treat you, one day your life in a problem. Girl, now make true money, you stay and fight, because it better you leave if you not treat you right. But don't disrespect and stay out at night. But well, up these days you will lose your life. We're losing too many women. Stop the violence against women. We need to love our women and take care of the women. Stop abusing the women. We're losing too many women, yeah. Stop the violence against women. We need to love our women, take care of the women. Stop abusing the women. Me never see nothing where hurt me so. If you want find God, them say a church you go. But the one with the lead them, with the teach you. Can't believe saying dirty side. 63 minus 15, no, the 48 that them say we not for judge. But if I had to say that pastor would get 48. Hey, and then the criminal them went upon the taxi route, kidnap the little girls and thief them forbidden fruits. Me have a bag of stone, no me no one shoot. Me wanna feel a lot of pain absolute. We're losing too many women. Ooh, yeah. Stop the violence against women. We need to stop it now. We need to love our women and take care of the women. Stop abusing the women. We're losing too many women, yeah. Stop the violence against women. Stop it, stop it. We need to love our women, take care of the women. Stop abusing the women. I can't live without a woman. Tell me, can you? I would never hurt a woman. No. We're losing too many women. Stop the violence against women. We need to love our women and take care of the women. Stop abusing the women. We're losing too many women, yeah. Stop the violence against women. We need to love our women, take care.
Yes. Welcome back to the TDP show. Umoja, are you here? Umoja, we still not hear your audio. All right, Umoja, I will ask you to just sign out real quick and stand back in, because for some reason we are not hearing a word you are saying. So you can exit the screen and then you join us back after that and see if that works. In the meantime, while Umoja is trying to sort out, before you recite the contacts, because I would want him to be here, Empress. So when he comes back, I will have you tell us how you can get your information out. I have a poem, it's called The Bitterness, because everybody had a poem, and everybody, Mr. Lee had the music, and me not doing a poem. Okay, come back. Hold on. Let me try to bring him back to the screen. Rasta. I don't know where you do. I don't know if you not pay internet bill good, but I don't know them a mess you up. I don't hear nothing from you, my lord.
I'm trying without the headphones. Did he have the headphones before? Oh, he great family guy. Okay.
All right. While I do, I have one named The Bitterness. Like a toddler crying for mom's breast milk, I saw tears race down her bony face. She was pensive and motionless, like she was lost in space. She then broke the silence, screaming out, I'm such a big disgrace. I quickly interjected, honey, what's wrong? And she yelled, get the hell out of my space. All you men are just the same. Cheat lies, you all take love for a game. I hate men forever. I should have killed Trevor. Yeah, put a bullet in his brain. Baby, whoa, hold on now. Yeah, take this too far. Are you drunk or insane? Craig, you're not gonna understand me. You can't feel my pain. I was raped when I was 9. It really shattered my mind. A decade after I tried to move on to get myself back in line. Thought Tom was the best thing until he slept with my sister. So I had sex with his best friend and WhatsApp him the flipping picture. All my life I've been hurt. Later started attending church, searching for comfort. But life grew worse. Few months after, she was impregnated by the comforting pastor, threatened to do an abortion or else her life would be a disaster. I tried to convince her, telling her she's still precious and worth more than diamonds and gold. She says she still hates men. Her heart is now cold. I offered a hug. She squeezed me tightly, saying, "Thank you, Mr. Kirkland, for attempting to make me feel lively. But how will I live with the fact of knowing that I'm infected with HIV?" The bitterness, sad reality of what our women are experiencing in our world today, and our men in society have failed our females dramatically. Sad situation. Christopher Lee, Wagwan.
Boy, me like that point about me. Wish it never I go on when my wife I walk past, cause she say, "You your friend herself on the thing a while ago." Eh?
Which part here?
Eh?
Which one of the parts here?
You hear the whole life, man.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm
Solid
still
message.
not seeing.
Solid,
Respect,
man.
respect.
Solid,
respect,
bro.
respect. There is another one I want to do before.
Them poem that they on your social media, though.
Yes.
All right.
The one I'm going to know. The one I'm going to know, it's not record now, but this one is called "You Are Okay," and this one is for all the survivors of domestic abuse and all of the women them who have got through the bitterness, the dark transition, and all of the young females them, you know, so to speak. This was something I wrote like quite some years ago for a female friend of mine who was going through a lot of hard times with her people them. Oh, Mr. People, may I talk about her man? Well, Empress, the Amaziyah. Okay, you're here. Christopher Lee, where you gone, my lad? Well, anyway, I'm going to continue with the poem. You are remarkable, Empress Poetry. You are strong. You are one of God's greatest gifts. Follow him and you will never go wrong. You are smart, ladies. You are noble. Pay keen ears to all these words I told you. You see, the skies were overcast and then torrential rain for days. Throughout your darkest moments, you've experienced pain for days. Cold and bitter, angry and confused. But be cautious with your steps before you've made the wrong moves. Are you probably feeling a bit empty right now, somewhat unsatisfied? Fret not, for Jah already sent an angel to be your travel guide. You will be okay? Just know that God is real. After you overcome this sophisticated phase, it will be the strongest you ever feel. You are beautiful. You are sweet. So trample all hypocrites and bad mind beneath your feet. Be patient and pray more. You will be okay. Forget about them who don't believe in you because you have no time to play. You are a fighter, Empress. You are a survivor who resists to quit. You are loved. You are queen. You deserve lifetime happiness. Tell them precisely. You will be okay.
That's a dope piece. Very encouraging joint. I like that.
Thank you very much.
Very encouraging.
Yes, Christopher Lee, Wagwan. I can't see Umoja, but I will not wait because I'm seeing we don't have much time here. We want to hear some more tune from Christopher Lee, but before we do that, Empress Poetry, tell us how persons can get to you and where can we get the books that you have. As you said, you do, people have linked to you directly?
No, they're on lulu.com. That's LULU.com. So I have with me right now, I have Water into Wine that was published in 2015. This is a collection of poetry and short stories about, well, my journey. And this one is my new baby. I just did this one in May. This is Good Trouble in Brooklyn, a COVID love affair. So I wrote this one last year during the pandemic when there was a lot going on and I didn't know what to do. So I wrote the characters that started living in my head. I put them in the story, and so they're all there. So this is a novel. It's an erotic novel, but it documents all of the stuff that we went through last year: the pandemic, the racial unrest, the Karens, the domestic violence, the child and sex trafficking, hungry folks. Like this book documents everything real time. And there's also some historical facts that I don't think a lot of people recognize was happening last year, but for some reason it came into my head and I recognized it. So it's all in this book, lulu.com. And yeah, don't do Amazon, because what I was trying to explain, I wasn't giving a whole story, but what I was trying to explain is for self-published authors, Amazon takes 75% or more of the pie from a self-published author when you go through Amazon. So I know Amazon is the go-to for everyone, but I do Lulu. And as an author, as a self-published author, you know, I feel like I get back what I deserve, unlike the other publishing houses and those other platforms. So that's why I was trying to make that point. So Water in the Wine and Good Trouble. Water in the Wine and Good Trouble in Brooklyn, a COVID love affair.
Well, the good thing you mentioned that, because I'm gonna start write my book yet, but it's good to know. You get what I say? If persons want to reach out to you though, what are your social media handles where persons can contact you? Email address. You say you will not give your number out. I
No.
can understand that. No, that's okay. That's okay. But are you on Instagram, Facebook, the whole 9 yards, where persons can reach out to you? You can, if you want to share that, you can please do that also.
Yeah, that's fine. On Instagram, I'm Empress_Poetry. On Facebook, I am Empress Poetry. On Twitter, I'm Empress. Just type in Empress Poetry, and actually, I just discovered this. My niece just taught me this, that I can Google myself and I actually pop up now. So just look for me that way, and all of my business comes up.
Okay, all right. We definitely want to hear more of what Christopher Lee has to say as it relates to music and his journey. But before you go, Empress Poetry, you can still remain and enjoy the show. Or if you, I don't want to keep you too long because you've been here for the longest while. So you decide if you want to stay and check out more of Christopher Lee. But I'm just gonna let you tell persons like what would be what was some of the most trialsome time during your journey, and what would you advise our females, our young females? What good advice would you give to them?
Okay, so trying times. I think every day is a trying time for us as human beings, right? So I think every day you get up, you give thanks to the Most High. You recognize that He chose you. You recognize that when the Most High chooses you, that there's a responsibility, that, you know, it's a give and take relationship. He gives you life. He provides for you. All He asks for you in any religion that you choose, whatever religion you choose, is that you treat His children the same way you require yourself to be treated. So if you want to be treated in love, then I treat you in love, right? That way it's returned. That's what the universe does. You put that into the universe. You put love, you put light, you put positive energy, you get that back. Now, that's not all you're going to get back, because once you have that power, once you recognize that power, then you can believe the enemy is going to throw a lot of stuff at you. It's going to come. It's a part of life. You learn from it. What I didn't realize as a younger person, if I had to advise the younger me today, it would be to continue to believe in myself. People tend to put on you their fears and their impressions of their lives, right? So you tell them, I dream of building a triangle in the middle of the ocean. And they're going to tell you something like, oh, well, you can't do that. Even though you have the blueprint written out, you know how you're going to do this. You know how you're going to get the sponsors. You know how everything is going to fit into place. But because sometimes it's not always hate, right? It's actually love, because sometimes people love you so much, they fear for your failure. So it's your vision, but because they can't see your vision, they see you as you're going to fail because they can't see it. So instead of encouraging you and taking the moment to find out from you what your vision is, they throw dirt on your stuff. They throw doubt there. They tell you it's not going to happen. You're not going to win, right? I would tell my younger self, don't listen to them. If you have the bravery, if you know for a fact that this passion inside of you is what you want to do, go for it. If you fail, you get up, you go again. People like to tell us their success stories. They hate telling about their failures. If we talk more about the things we tried and failed at and represent as who we actually are today, people can say, yo, I used to spend food stamps, right? I was at a point, I was begging people to allow me to sleep on their couches. I had to put my kid to live with somebody else until I got my shit straight, part of my language. I had to make those decisions. Those were tough decisions. I could have gave up and said, screw it all and everything else, but I didn't. Because at the end of the day, when I look in the mirror, I have to talk to her. She's that person that outside of God, she's the only other person that I know can or will not forgive me. So I had to learn to forgive myself, to love myself, and to forget all of the other negatives that people send at you. Don't be the magnet. Don't be the magnet. Don't snatch everything you attract. Don't be the magnet. You're going to attract a lot of stuff. You're going to attract good stuff. You're going to attract bad stuff. Be wise about your choices. That's it.
Bro,
yeah, Christopher Lee, give thanks for that again. Empress Poetry, we just realized that all are in a black top. Oh, I go on a planting.
Cool, man.
Yes,
Connection, man.
Yes. But big
Empress not easy, you know, she go do a wardrobe change. I mean, one.
I did.
Me alone see it, Empress.
I was hoping nobody recognized that, but I see
you never saw go on, I swear.
When we break and come back, man, the first break, man, Empress come back, man. Empress a real star, you know.
But what you are going to go on? We are going to make you talk some more about you on the journey, Christopher Lee. But we might not get to join back Umoja. But we met quite some years ago at a film festival event, and he was featured in one of my short movies, and I think I can find it, just his part, and we kept the connection since. So big up Barbara Blake, Hannah, and the whole Reggae Film Festival crew. Ever since we never stopped. I've been doing short movies for quite some time, got few awards, and you know we plan to take it to a higher level, but at the end of the day, you know, sometimes it's the finance that keeps us, you know, back to a level, but we still do use what we can do and do what we can do. But as we go more, we grow more, we hope sponsors would come on board and support our moves. I will provide that link out soon, but let me play that part of a short movie that we did with Umoja and I know her.
Yes, producer Mike. You have the big with him, them in a king. Young man eats one top right, and you shot the king in the come in to see where you can lead for there, you see? Where you can do. Yeah, man, I have a thing I know, man, I say never get raped on the battlefield, you see? When I roll. Yeah. Never get weary upon the battlefield. Get cut some bruise and we never squeal. Love tell me hungry and me not the meal. Me see the crime rate rise, ask the bigger heads what to do. Not for them all head and some a thief. Kill us with promise and we never see it. Them try for this till I see them get defeat. The youth are rising to the top, the peg and look and now them can't.
Yo, come out of this. How can I tune that, dad?
That.
Yo, and some bad man or some girl thing we are dealing with. You can't deal with that, dad. You want that? No, man, we're not in that right now, star. You're soft up and I lame up the thing. We need some girl tune or some hyper, some bad man thing, and that may deal. We don't work like that.
Alright, you come this morning, Stu.
Right,
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so that was Umoja, aka Alwyn Hewitt, Allen. Yeah, man. So that short movie that you see there, it's called Stay Firm, and you can
see that one they already do.
Yes, it's on YouTube. It's all over.
That one they already.
So, Umoja, big respect. Thanks for passing through. You might not get to join us because we soon close off the show. So I decided somebody have to play that piece there. And Christopher Lee, you know the connection make now. Sometime in the future we might end up and do some other greater works.
Yeah,
you
man.
Get me? I say you never know.
No for my people I'm watch right now, because I'm share the link, man. Big up GC
product.
Yeah,
yes,
done.
Yes. As you say, big up Mika Fire, because I make it possible, and I don't saw the connection, but still.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
So you know you've been away for quite some time, Christopher Lee, and you've been doing music for a number of years. Since you've been away, have you performed on any major shows over there in States?
Yes, but numerous.
But why would I hear more of Christopher Lee? Is it that the business been treating you like how them a treat me because I'm a talented bad and I see them a reach out. I don't know what going on right this.
All right, to be frank, bro. I'm gonna tell you this. See the time when, like at the time when the business look like it gonna accept me, you know, we know say, all right, yeah. A whole heap of thing will go through. Whole heap of judgment. So you don't know. In at that time that because me Barbican come from Kingston yet. You know, I say where me come from a serious like young war. Anything where you hear me sing about that way, you hear me say my daughter, like Empress daughter 25, my daughter will be 23 her next birthday. So same way where you hear me sing and I say young war I go on. And my friend them ask me, how me do it? Because I have your own food for my daughter eat. All of them things they are real thing. You understand me? I say, so we take a music save way. Take on myself. I'm say take on myself and a long time I live here. I live here like 7 years, but my been I go to and from escape till me decide say yeah, I hit that. But musically, I tell you, we put out a whole heap of work. And since my day I even all right, you know, the whole COVID, cause I never a DJ none at all. When I come back, I stop. It's like I leave it out. Nah, I do it. I'm just get some rhythm, start record in my car. Cause you go up on the YouTube and see how I do it. Me I drive go work. Or when I drive go work, I set up my camera and I say, sure, let me try this Facebook thing. I'm not too savvy with the phone and the thing. So I say, all right, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna put a video up on YouTube and like 3-4 days off, I go sleep and not YouTube, Facebook. And some people start calling me like from Jamaica. People, enough entertainer call me. I say, yo, we see how a thing on the Facebook. I'm say, hey, I'm gonna check it back there. I'm gonna check one site. I'm gonna check one site. I say 100,000 views. I'm saying, I'm put so much things on them there, I pass 100 views, bro. I'm gonna call somebody again, and somebody come from New York and say, dog, we look for rap, but man, say go check Pink Wall, dog. You have a thing on Pink Wall. Ragashan, beer people take it. Beer people. All of the vlogger them take it and have it and see it. And from that, I just decide, say, yo, if I can do that, bro. Because me know I can do it, you know. But it's just that, like same thing when Empress I say a while ago, bro. You know, more time. Because I'm tell you, I'm done high school, I don't want to go back no more. I don't want to go to college, I don't want to do nothing but music, you know.
Yeah.
And my mother either support that. But my father is a man and say, oh, music for be plan B. And me I tell him, say, I two plan me have, you know, plan A and plan A, you know. Because once you have plan B, you got a program somewhere. So me I say, yo, I plan A, me I deal it. My mother either support and my father say, no. It's right now. Anyhow, A week pass, I'm gonna send a music I give my father. Them start calling and say, yo, where the new music them there? And now we must support the thing. Never used to. You understand me? And them know enough people they are not believe, man. Some of us use this as a medium. Even you reach out, like I call my people and say, yo, yeah, me have an interview like more, you know. Them start know say I no joke. I mean I know them people. And them people are see me in the street. So that means that me have potential. You see it? Yeah, man.
True.
See them way like Nico Fire, social media. I'm always I watch Nico Fire. And a social media. You see it and the man send that out the road, bro. I'm see crazy people start link me. A 3 song record to the brother. And out of the 3 song I record, I one of my home base producer. GC Production, big up yourself, cause him, me do that song for me just sing a while ago. I him from have it, me I say, yo, call him and say, yeah, GC, so when you can look out for it, man. But other song, them on my voice, I through the same Nico Fire link here. People call me, one lady from England, and I never hesitate to send her money to and say, yo, go and go get it done. I like how you sound, and my voice song and send back email song go give her. Somebody else again down at Jamaica, I'm a voice singer. So the song them are go out there. Like right now, even more than before. Cause how much artists now we are DJ now can say them have vinyls. Bro, me have vinyls to see how long me a DJ, brother. You understand what I say? But now at the time, cause we don't even want a bus, bro. All we want is a slow leak. We don't want a bus. I say, we just want a slow leak, bro. Yeah.
With you going through the hard times and you still kept the faith and the whole 9 yards. If you were supposed to, you know, give advice to some young youth who going through that same type of situation there where, you know, feel like giving up, what would you say to them?
First thing, bro, you have to want better. You understand? You have to want better, bro. You see me? Me can tell us, personally speaking, bro, I not take talk. You not even know. I never like take talk from people. But I have people in my community, like what you said, the village. The first problem when I get in, I know I behave myself, you know. When the judge look at me and tell me something for dash away now, one reason why I'm not dash away now. I send 2 police in your ear. I never know them things that go on. I send 2 police in your ear for ask, boy. And the first 10 people them ask, I bear. Them can't find nothing bad to say. The man say, no, that youth deserve a chance. That me I tell you. That this judge I say, yo, don't see you back in my courthouse. You understand me I say? And then right in at the time, my baby mother come and court with belly. And then my daughter go born. And then from all of that now change. Same thing like what she say. I left my youth. When me a DJ the song a while ago, my door I open and the youth them a come in. Cause them gone a Chuck E. Cheese, I'm glad cause them would have make beer nice. And when me a DJ, them a come in to show you, bro. You see me? That whole way. You understand me? I say, if I tell you them no, cause you them can get safe, you know, easy, you know, but you have to want. You understand me? I say, I see a youth go viral already, and the man I say, yo, he might give up. And the people them save him. People them save him and buy him some chicken and rib. Day me and my wife in here talk about. And I say, yo, you see if some other youth do that. But them have to want it. You have to want it. You can see that youth there. Me not judge people, but you can see say want it.
The first person sent me the video was Brother Gary, you know, in a New York. And then after that we see the same video, TVJ them they do a feature with him. You get what I say? And yes. And I'm glad said persons really reach out and assist. And this is one reason why we have these platforms, you know, we talk. Because even me at my TDP show, I want to tell you, nobody not really reach out to me yet after that, but me never stop. Every time, a matter of fact, a time to put it up on the screen, it was when I talk about it. But always I tell people, say, you know, supporting fans, them can send contribution if they have it. Via PayPal, Zelle.
Bro, you're not even another word. You're not to say another word. Because I done scope out that already. And I make you know, say, yo, anything we can do. Anything.
Yeah.
Anything at all. Like you're a small car. This do a lot for me too, you know.
But put it generally for everybody, man, because I want to tell us a person's reach out. I have to big up Michelle in New York. I have to big up Verona. I have to big up Jill and Murray. them people reach out and make a matter of fact, all of you hear me mention, still want me put it on a platform which part we can make StreamYard. I put it on other platform. Because the last chat me and one of them had them say, yo, find out what's the cost where you know just make it up on YouTube only, but make it accessible where people can see it same time on Facebook. And me I say, yes, me I go check out that and get back to you. So there are persons loving the show. All the people where they are right now in the show love what I go on. And with that, and them are the people make me feel like say, yo, me for continue with what me I do. Cause enough times, see Bev Walters there, she's on there right now. She support it like every month. Them still send them contribution because to how YouTube set up now, you know them have the support button there where you can click it and you donate. Or you can click one of the perks them and you support via monthly or whenever you choose. And we're glad that people are reach out. So there will be that time when we then we house now with about like a backdrop. We want then we studio some of the time and set up things properly. So
the next time you link me, bro. Next time we make a link, you go see me. Cause that me I work on right now. That me I work on as we speak. Cause me's a man where more time I go Facebook and I go live, you know. Me I drive go work all half an hour to driving. Me just a DJ straight and when me look all 200 people for my life. And make crazy connection. Other people share it and then it just start go on. The thing I expand, brother. So like where I say right now, we want this to go on. I'm gonna give you some link to. I give you some connection, bro. Cause even with the short
you
movie
mentioned
thing,
some.
Yeah, man, never read do the same thing what you are doing, you know. And him kinda you could hear about him already took a yard, man. Him there now still. He must spend some time and him have a whole heap. He shoot videos to me and them thing that. And him have a whole heap of connection where movie thing, them where you do them do.
I mentioned some persons name. We're going to talk to some more artists to see them across the side there. You get to me and say we're going to make mentions of some more people, make the world so I know what going on because you know mainstream media only focus on certain names and certain people, but with social media we socialize and globalize.
Yeah, man. Real talk, bro.
But what you are going now? We want to hear something else.
Yeah, man, right away, man. Real.
And already Empress has smiled, so me know say she's also elated. Yeah. Take it away.
All right. No, me say, hear me no, mister. No put your hand on me, sister. Me make black rain wet you like water. If you put your hand on me, daughter. Me go so, hear me no, mister. Try to put your hand on me, sister. Me make black rain wet you like water. If you put your hand on me, daughter. Hey, me say for my sister killer did liquid hammer. Right away, me woulda rise me mama. Hey, some boy them too bright. Hey, you give away your rights from your put your hand pan our major hype. Hey, one thing me notice. Jamaican love put up with slackness. Yes, and them love defend them artists. All when them find them artists are rapists. Boy, you know say me I go post this so you can call Mark Zuckerberg and report it. Hey, me no care who want to hear this cause my favorite show is Everybody Hate Chris. You get it? Hear me no, mister. Try to put your hand on me, sister. Me make gunshot take you with brata. If you put your hand on me, daughter. Me go so hear me no, mister. Try to put your hand on me, sister. Me make black rain wet you like water. If you put your hand on me, daughter. Second verse, hey, enough of them boy are some louses. Love to beat up the skirts and blouses. Me make me zig go so zaga like Moses. If you bleach and wear the girls' trousers. Well, me say enough of them are idiot, enough of them a clown. Only beat a woman if she nah no man a come around. Me know say enough of you nah go like how me sound, but I bet you wouldn't touch Sandy Brown. Hear me no, mister. Try to put your hand on me, sister. Me make black rain wet you like water. If you put your hand on me, da. Yes, I am.
I second that emotion.
True.
Microphone mute because without a delay. The microphone was mute, but now it's on mute. who is on the screen. Yes. What do you have to say?
Listen, I second everything, every lyric that you just lick. I second every last one of them.
Yeah.
I do. And you know what? And perhaps if more men would tell the world that about their kids, about their daughters, then people would fear and respect that that's your daughter.
Come on.
I grew up in Barbados, and everybody feared my father. I thought it was just me, right? Because, well, he was just somebody to fear. And then I realized that everybody in the community feared him too. And that's because my father let it be known, do not mess with me or my family. If you mess with me or my family, I'm not responsible for the reaction. And that's one thing that he always taught us growing up was my reaction is based on somebody's actions. So if I, as a child, did something wrong, his reaction was based on my actions.
Real talk.
So you just teach the community that. Touch my daughter, and what's the name of what Black Rain? Is that a
Yeah, man. Black Rain, man. All right, Black Rain. Black Rain now, mommy.
Yes.
You know what? That's for my man.
I like it. I'm gonna start using that Black Rain. See?
Yeah, man. Black Rain are the little thing them are going in magazine. You know what? That's for fire.
Listen, I picked it up. I listened very well.
Wet you up like what, man?
I got something from you today, and you got something from me.
Yeah, you know what? That wet you up, man.
All right.
Early.
We have about 4 minutes left because it's a 2-hour show and we are 2:26. So Christopher Lee, before we make a tell us how we can reach out to you, there I have to go to a quick break real quick. And then we can talk about more of how persons can get to you and what next from Christopher Lee. You get the message? So please, people, nobody go nowhere. You are watching the TDP show. And I am your host, Amaziyah the Great. The guest here right now is Empress Poetry and Christopher Lee. I have a poem I want to play. It's on YouTube. It's called Nothing More. So we continue right after the break.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with you asking the wrong questions. What makes it correct is when you've been provided with the right answers.
Precisely.
Nothing wrong with you making mistakes, but in this case, what makes it great is when you learn from your errors and elevate. Penetrate and meditate on the great things you desire to achieve in life. Separate yourself from people who don't want to see you thrive. Realize life is no bed of roses or no smooth pathway. There are hurdles to overcome. There are bitterness and harsh days. There will be moments of sadness and grief, and there will be moments of happiness when you feel like you would laugh all day. During your first heartbreak, you probably yelled at yourself in the mirror, "I can't take this no more." No joking, perhaps you'll be smoking or consuming alcoholic substances like you have never done before. It's like your entire world keep crumbling. While you're grumbling, "Why have you done this to me?" Nothing wrong with crying, expressing your emotions. No need for fightings or commotion. We were educated poorly about love. Ignorance is like an addiction and will mess you up like drugs. What makes it wrong is when you allow your negative thoughts to become your actions. So, think first and allow time to heal you. Yo, nothing wrong with giving spaces or even letting go if it not work out for me the best. No, well on there. Think about it. Probably that caused the stress. Nothing wrong with seeking advice or counseling when you really need help. Someone really love you. Don't continue to blame yourself. After you overcome the dark phase, you will be the stronger version of self. Then you will learn to love and appreciate your very own existence. In life, we encounter challenges. Tackle something new. Nothing wrong with taking risks as entrepreneurs do. If no one believes in what you're passionate about, at least you believe in you. You believe in you. And that's where it all started. For your dreams to become true. Nothing wrong if you failed at first. It's all a part of the game. I'm not saying you're the worst. As long as you don't give up, try harder again. You will prevail. With persistence, my friend, winning is a must. I am Amaziyah the Great. In God I put my trust.
Welcome back to the TDP show. I'm your host, Amaziyah the Great, and you're here with Christopher Lee, Empress Poetry. Tell them precisely. Great ways the gateway while the sunshine we make. Christopher Lee, what else do you have to say?
Yeah, man. Can check me out on Instagram. And DJ Christopher Lee 1. DJ Christopher Lee 1. One word. Understand? Facebook, Christopher Lee. Well, if you type in Christopher Lee in a Facebook, you have to just go look for my face if you know it's there. You see me, I just look for the music them. Because I guess I'm going to try to change the name because so much Christopher Lee pop up. When you type in Christopher Lee, you understand me? I say so. I'm going to try do something to the name where make it stand out, make it different. I'm a daughter forward because I don't really understand the thing, you know. But you don't know if you go there, so DM me right away, me answer, man. DJ Christopher Lee 1. Check my message them like every day, so you don't know. Because there's some most people reach out to me. And once you go there, some link in I bio, then you go straight to the YouTube channel, said way, so you can just subscribe and know when I put up the new video them. Same way, you know? Yeah, man.
True. How has the whole global pandemic been for you as it relates to you doing music? Has it, you know, slow you down somewhat, or has it been a real struggle for you in that side of the world?
Yeah, slow down. It's slow down. All like big artists them to so much more me. Watch this. If the pandemic never come I tell you, right as the first song go viral, let me tell you, say, whole heap of views, bro, and people are reach out from different places in the world and me a record whole heap of song. Them time they are locked down. Which part we there in a Central Florida, yeah, ghost town, brother. Cause me, when my job, brother, them call me essential worker. So you know me out on the road in the night, the same way. I come from work 2 o'clock in the morning, me alone there on the road. Everywhere, no party, nothing I keep. You see me? And when them free up a little bit, the buzz done gone already. And when a song go viral, I saw it going because I don't know a commercial song. So people want to hear it right away. So next thing you know, is the next one them a log on to already. So we never get to ride that wave there. You understand me? I say, else mother they all about. Come I tell the people I call me from New York, people I call me from everywhere. You see me? So that's why I will get more into the social media. Because I never to, you understand me? I say I find out say, we don't need. Is a thing where them a try to change, you know, bro. Because when you see them do that, and you see them do like Sunfest, because we watch Sunfest and we have to pay. Like we pay like $1, $5, $10. People are going to pay. So if you have a spot, because that's how it's going to reach, you know. You have a spot with 50,000 people in there. And everybody are pay 5,000 American dollar. Right now, them are going to just make them thing they start, them concert there, and everybody home and you pay $1. So 10 million people are watch it and you get $1, you make $10 million same way. And that's how it's going to reach. So you have to learn to use this platform. And so that's why I do try to set up a place in our home where we can just know, say, yeah, when the next time I have my backdrop like all your things stay and it fancy and some light and more time we just give them a stage show and tell my people them say, yeah, okay, me I support other people, you know. More time I there watch it, never bridge you play music live. More time I just turn man and I there watch music and the way it's sweet. I cash up him a $10 too and cash up him a 20. I know I know me alone I do it. I know him can get to pay and bill them kind of party now go on and and people reach out to me and me eat same way. So you don't know if you know me always a support. If 10 we come, if you there right now, I'm going to go boom and put 20 and 5 more man do that is a bills done. And you're going to leave your yard. But we have to support each other. We have to post people thing. I tell Nico say, yo, anything at all we can do. Because this way when Nico do that platform when him have, bro, it do a lot for me. You understand me? I say? So yeah man, the pandemic is everybody, man. Because when we say we use this, we use our app at our advantage, don't we?
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Well,
I like to say it leveled the playing. I was saying it leveled the playing field because, like me, I'm on stage all the time. I hate this. I hate the camera right here in my face. I hate it. So I had no choice but to get accustomed to it because of COVID, because now we're home. There's no more going out and getting on stages and stuff like that. I had to get accustomed to this. I'm still not 100%. And I have 2 radio shows that I do via Zoom. So, but I'm getting there, you know? Something you just taught me though, Christopher. And I mean, people have been getting on me about, because I have no social media presence. My social media presence is me throwing a poem up on my Facebook. Like I've had my YouTube channel. It's different, like maybe 9 videos up there, and it's probably the same 3 poems, but it was done in different places. But it's just, so I know quarantine taught me that I definitely need to sharpen up my social media presence. So I'm working on it though. You know, if any of my team is watching, they'll say I'm lying because I don't do nothing. I was supposed to do a video, a poem, a PSA, and all it takes is to hold the camera right here, right? I'm just not there yet. I'll get there though, because I realize that it's changing and there's no such thing as the new normal. Like new and normal, that can't be put together. So I gotta really step up. So tonight was a big move. I spent all the time here, you know, and I learned a lot. It was fun though. It doesn't feel like all that time has passed. It's really been I appreciate the invitation, for real.
Yeah, man, with some important discussion too, you know?
Yeah, because actually, as we say, it's a 2-hour show and it's the 2:35, you know, and it really seemed like the show just started. Because I know so there's enough more where Christopher Lee will talk, but we can do that for another take again because you don't know. We will always be here to talk about the growth and the movement and journey, the whole 9 yards, because the journey continues. Empress Poetry, we will definitely have you again on our show.
As soon as the music done mix and master and thing, man, and we are send it out there to the world, man. We give you make you drop it, cause we're gonna just do a little short video or something and just make you.
Nothing wrong with that because we're there the same way again, and you don't have the connection already, so nothing wrong with that. I want to take the time out for, you know, all of the persons who are here tonight and in our chat. I certainly do give thanks for you being here. All our guests on the TDP show, 23rd episode. Give thanks, Empress Poetry, Christopher Lee, big respect, Umoja, enough respect, blessings. So, you know, feel free to link up. You get to keep me posted with what I go on. The whole 9 yards. You get me? So blessings and respect.
Empress _poetry, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And on Facebook is I am Empress Poetry. But
yeah.
I think if you just, there's only, honestly, it's just one. It's just one Empress Poetry. So once you put it in, it'll come up.
All right.
Sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, do that though, because I did that Christopher Lee thing on Facebook and there's like 1,200 of them. So,
yeah, man. No, I'm going to find up on the Facebook and just and send you the request. And then once you see that, you see the work them and everything. Enough of work them there. So.
I tried to go through his friends list, but he got like 10 million people on his friends list, so it's impossible to find you amongst his 10 million friends and followers.
Christopher Lee, add me on Facebook too. You will see me at Craig Multi-Talented Kirkland.
All right.
You get that?
Yeah, Craig Multi-Talented Kirkland.
So we got time for one more poem because I realized earlier that I was amongst a bunch of Jamaicans as the only Barbadian. And earlier this year, I wrote a poem for Bob Marley's birthday for the show that was happening here in New York. You got time, Craig? Big Lucy.
Hey, I don't know if you are seeing me here, but may I try sign in from a computer to make a note that the show done. So if you are hearing me, the show is finished. Yeah, the battery just dead from the phone a while ago. So if you are seeing me, because the first time I ever use this computer do the live thing, because for some reason the camera is not so pretty. You get me? So if you not see me now, Coach Verona, can you see me? Let me know. But never in my life use this computer. Because I never understand. May I see too much. Have a great week, everyone. Yeah, big respect to everybody. Big respect, big respect. Oh, now see me, now hear me. Yeah. So, me there saw go on with a vibe. Thanks for the whole of for joining on the show, you see me? So blessings and respect. I'm going to end this now because I'm not used to this. First thing, the quality of the camera is pretty, and then I see how long of the curtain side, right? Which side is it, right there, so? We have a this on. No. Now, any show now. You're looking professional. Okay. Yeah, so, no, I audit. I do too much right now. Me get all this wide space. Yo. Anyway, big ups to all you. No, let me see something. It's like me I test out a new thing right there, so because some of them things I may never even know. Oh. I forgot try. Alright. I find the yes. This me I look for. Okay, so supporting fans, please. From you can, contribute to our show development, our growth. There is the PayPal me at Artist Craig Kirkland. You can Zelle me at artistcraigkirkland@gmail.com, or you can cash up, $ Artist Craig Kirkland. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at Precisely Great, TikTok at Artist Craig Kirkland, and at Amaziyah the Great. Facebook Music Amaziyah the Great. WhatsApp me on 876-476-245. The TDP show continues every Sunday at 5 p.m. Jamaica time. Thanks for joining us, and we do give thanks for you being here. Thanks for everybody who's been supporting me over the whole time since the first episode start till the 23rd episode we have now, and all those who've been supporting me ever since. Noreen Snyder, much respect. You always been here from the very first. Verona, you've been helping me tremendously, and I do give thanks for that. Michelle in New York, enough respect. I do give thanks for you supporting me. Also, Jillian Murray, big respect and thanks again for your support. You are part of the reason why I still go through with this. You motivate me somewhat, and you never given up on me ever since. Blessings and respect. Thanks to the whole owner. Big respect. Please share the link. And you don't know, looking forward for greatness. Blessings, respect. Thank you very much. Big up to my picnic them.